So we're out here at the Big Chute Marina, just outside of Coldwater, Ontario, and we've got a customer with a beaver problem and causing quite a bit of damage. So we're gonna head up there. They let us use their boat as they're not here, and I've come out with my brother Larry to see what we have to do to solve this man's problem. So consider this your disclaimer. If you do not want to see a dead beaver, I'd suggest turning off the video right now. This is what we do for a living here, and it's one of the jobs that we have. And so if you're interested in seeing how we get rid of beaver, nuisance beaver, that are causing problems. They're rodent, and they knock down a lot of trees and can cause a lot of flooding and other damage to foundations of boathouses. We've seen them where they've put an entire beaver house inside a boathouse, and so these have to be dealt with. And so yeah, that's what this video is about. We're going to show you guys how to deal, or how we deal with nuisance beaver problems here in Central Ontario, Canada. You guys, right here is one of Larry's traps have been set, and it is sitting good. No beaver.
What you're noticing is this pile of mud and sticks coming out the back of the boathouse.
Okay, yeah.
And you can see one white stick down there. This could even be just a scent mound where he likes to come and hang out. Could be the start of a new house. Can't say for sure, but they wanted him out of here
before the problem gets any worse.
And it only gets worse. So that's why they called us. Dean, this one's been set off.
Oh, look at that.
And there's our beaver.
So he'd be a 2-year-old, eh? Or
yeah.
Older?
I think it's
2 or 3 years old?
I think it's just a 2-year-old by the size of the tail.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that beaver got so far through the trap, but it's coming.
So this customer, guys, has been waiting since, I think, June. He phoned, or July, with this problem. We convinced the customers that, you know, the best time to trap the beaver, because Larry is a licensed trapper, he'll use this fur, and you know, we'll put it on our, you know, it's not going to go to waste, in other words. So trapping the beaver in the springtime, it's just a waste, as the pelt has no value at all. So maybe some Russian guy will get a hat out of this or something, but that's where a lot of the pelts still seem to go. China and Russia are the big buyers of fur these days, because they don't care what you think.
Yeah, I got her.
And these traps are tested and approved by the Canadian government for their humaneness. All the traps need to be up to a certain standard now.
So this set here is a total remake, and I don't know if it's necessary.
Yeah, just freshen that.
Freshen that one, add some fresh scent. We're coming back Friday.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's just the one.
Yeah. So when you get a 2-year-old beaver like this, guys, you end up, he's a good chance he's a loner. And if anything, he or she may have a girlfriend. So there may be a pair, and there may not. Depends if he's found himself a mate or not. But they have not started breeding. They would start breeding next year, in their 3rd year.
So let's do that. If you want to throw me that.
So beaver's favorite food would be poplar. And you will not find a piece of poplar on the shoreline here anywhere. I can guarantee you that, because they won't wait. until it's a big tree. They'll have it gone. So we have to find poplar, you know, further off the road and bring it out here. But that's a beaver's favorite food, and we call it the beaver's candy. Yeah, they love it. And what's that jar in your hand, Lair?
That's actually beaver lure. It's gonna make a beaver think he's got a trespasser in his territory, and he's gonna come and check it out.
It's made from the glands, the scent glands,
yeah,
of the beaver, and so they're very territorial.
It's also got a little bit of poplar buds crushed up in it.
Oh, okay.
Scotty Sears, our nephew, he makes his own lure, sells it. So that's where I got this bottle. But there's several.
I can smell it from here.
There's several makers on the market. It's all good, I think.
Well, we'll see if he wipes out. Maybe we get a blooper.
Probably won't take long.
One of us will be going down here. It's really slippery, all these wet leaves.
Nice boat, dirty.
So I'm just here to hold the camera. You've seen the other videos. You know, that's Glenn holds the camera, Larry does all the work. That's the routine.
Everybody gets used to their job. There.
So a lot of people have a question. It's a legitimate question, and that is, why would you not live trap the beaver and take them out and let them go somewhere? We can totally understand where someone would think that, but this is the Mother Nature's rules that we play by here. She is our boss, and so we own beaver live traps, but at this time of year in mid-October here in Canada, we are about to get ice and snow and frozen lakes possible within a couple of weeks. Live trapping this beaver here, for example, if we had have taken him and went out, found a lake and let him go, he's gonna either be dropped off in another beaver's territory, in which case they will fight to the death or drive him out. So he's immediately chastised from any area, because almost any area with water around it has beaver in. That is their territory, and there's already an established family of beaver that can gang up on this lone guy that we've just dumped out. So that's the first problem, is that he's going to be driven out of the water, possibly up onto the land where the wolves, the coyotes, and other animals can get at him, so, and kill him. So very cruel thing to do. It's far more cruel than actually using a lethal trap and just killing him humanely. So that is one reason. Now the other reason we don't live trap and let them go at this time of year is because this beaver needs to build a house, and he needs a place to live for the winter. They need a mound where they can swim under the ice and go up into their house, and where it's going to be insulated, keep them warm. They cannot live in the water under the ice all year. So it takes months for them to collect all the sticks and mud and build themselves a den. This beaver would not have that time. Even if he was in an area with no beaver, he would not have the time by himself to build a lodge and then cut enough food and bring it in for himself to survive the winter. So again, letting this beaver go is signing his death warrant. He's going to die a very inhumane death, either by being driven out by the other beaver or by freezing and starving to death because he does not have a den and shelter for the winter. So those are the main reasons. And like I said, we deal with the facts here. We have been trapping. My father has been started, Larry and I, and we were raised on a trap line growing up. So we understand the nature of these animals, and that Mother Nature is our boss at the end of the day. She controls when and what we do. And as I said earlier, this customer wanted us to come in June. We said no, because the pelt has no value. We don't want to kill it needlessly, and you're going to have to wait until the fall, because if you think that live trapping in the springtime would be an option, there's the possibility that this could have been a female with babies. We did not want to live trap a female and take her away and leave babies orphaned. So we don't know. It's impossible to sex a beaver by looking at them. You have to actually open them up, cut them open, and look at what's going on inside. And so you can't just look at a live beaver and say, well, that's a female or that's a male. So this is why we have to do this the way we do, and I wanted to explain this in a video so that people will understand that you know, first of all, these jobs need to be done. The beaver will flood buildings, roads. They can destroy foundations. I've seen them chew the posts of the foundation posts of a boathouse. So left out of control, a male and a female beaver over a few years can make 10 to 15 babies in a very short amount of time, in about 5-6 years. So they're a rodent, and they need to be controlled because their populations can get right out of hand, and they need this. They need some form of control. A lot of people aren't trapping anymore. There is not a lot of money in the fur trade, so the people who trap are not doing it as much, and it means there's more animals like beaver and raccoons out running around. And what they do, they run out of places to live, and they will decide to move into a boathouse or on the bank of somebody's cottage. So they have to be dealt with, and that's how we deal with it here. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, because we wanted to educate you on beaver trapping, and especially trapping nuisance beaver in cottage country here in central Ontario. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you on the next video here at Robertson's Wildlife and Pest Control. Take care.